Hello and welcome to the APIMS how-to series of support videos. In this clip, I'm going to show you how to complete administrator setup in APIMS. We'll go through each screen in turn, completing them as we go, so you can either watch this video first, then complete setup yourself, or you can put the video on pause now, start doing setup, and if you need any help, you can just move the time bar cursor to the relevant part of the video to watch it. The setup process starts when you receive a welcome email with a link to APIMS, and you start by creating a password. Please don't use a password you already use for something else, and if your browser offers the option of setting a random password, please choose that option. You will then be taken to a screen to confirm your details, and you can reassign the administrator role to someone else at this point if you wish to. If you do, please let them know straight away, because as soon as you hit save and continue, they'll be sent an email from APIMS asking them to complete administrator setup. The next question is about ICO registration. Simply type in your number and click enter. APIMS will then check the ICO's register and autofill your address and details of your data protection officer if you've registered one. This is also where you can grant your DPO access to APIMS. Again, please let them know so they're expecting the APIMS welcome email and don't think it's spam or phishing. Next, APIMS asks whether you are part of a group and which sector you're in, so that you'll be taken to the appropriate version of APIMS. Then we ask if you have a website, and if so, how it's used. Now you have an opportunity to customize some of your titles and key terminology. By the way, you're seeing this particular set of terms because we selected education as the type of organization in the previous screen. In the commercial version of APIMS, you will see terms like board of directors, customer, client, and so on. So in this example, if you're a secondary school or college, you probably want to change pupils to students, and if you're a multi-academy trust, you'll have to change governors to trustees and so on. And as you will see here, you can also customize your department names. Again, in the commercial version, you'll see departments such as marketing, sales, customer services, distribution, logistics, and so on. This is where we start to map your organizational structure. And if you hover your mouse over a department, you'll see its pre-installed processes. And of course, you can add new departments if necessary. I'm just going to select one department. And now we just need to enter the details of the head of that department in the accountability framework. Now, while we're here, I just want to take a moment to explain the APIMS accountability framework. The accountability principle on which the whole of GDPR is based makes organizations, and that of course means their leaders, responsible for ensuring and being able to demonstrate that all their processing activities across their organizations are compliant with all of the other 6 privacy principles. Now, the problem of course that leaders have is that they generally have very little, if any, visibility or control of what data is being collected and used and shared and stored across their organization. So they can't actually ensure or demonstrate anything, and certainly not that everything is compliant. So APIMS makes each head of department accountable to the board for ensuring compliance within their department. Then it delegates responsibility for compliance in each process to the person who actually manages or operates it on a day-to-day basis. APIMS calls them process coordinators. Now, obviously, they won't be GDPR experts. So APIMS automates a lot of this and provides them with the tools and information they need. You can see how we do this in the How to Manage Risk and Compliance video. Next, you'll be asked to list the systems used by the organization. As you can see, the drop-down works as a handy checklist, and you only need to list the ones you know about, because at this stage, APIMS is just making a start on the inventory and data mapping, and any systems you miss will be added later on by heads of department and process coordinators when they do their setup processes. Then we do the same thing with third-party services. Again, there's a drop-down to use as a rough checklist, and any services that are missed will be added later on in the setup process. Over time, APIMS is going to gather more and more information about these systems and services and the vendors who supply them, and third-party risk management projects will be initiated later on, but not at this stage. Next, APIMS asks whether certain types of activity are undertaken anywhere in the organization. Again, you can simply answer to the best of your knowledge, and it doesn't matter if you make any mistakes because they will all be corrected later on. And finally, you just need to let your heads of department know what's happening and warn them that they're about to receive an email from APIMS asking them to complete setup of their departments. As you see here, we've provided you with their email addresses, a subject line heading and draft text. So all you have to do is copy and paste it all into an email, edit if necessary, and send. Once you've done that, you can hit the send emails button and your heads of department will receive those welcome emails. And that is the end of administrator setup. We don't expect you to complete it in the 5 minutes it's taken to go through it here, but as you can see, this is not a time-consuming or complicated task. We'll have a proper look at this dashboard in another video. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please email us on support@apims.co.uk. Thank you for listening.